Okay. Who is your book group?
So I'm going to talk about my family. More my extended family on my mom's side. So my mom's grandpa is the family I interact honestly the most with.
Okay.
I think a good quote that represents this is my dad was talking about it one time. He's like, those people, they'll celebrate for anything. You know,
Yeah.
your baby takes their first poop, they're celebrating about it. That's how they are. So
Okay, that's nice. Is there like a specific person in your family that has passed down stories like from generations, or like have you grown up around like certain traditions or like special knowledge that it's like the norm in your family?
The biggest tradition is, so we always have a like Christmas in July celebration, last weekend of July. That's always like the big, I would say that's the main one. There's always a Christmas one that's kind of led by my great grandma. So there's a lot of like different generations coming together and, you know, hanging out.
Yeah.
Especially like compared to other parts of my family, I say this is definitely like this line keeps the family tradition alive a lot more.
So I know you said that your great grandma kind of leads like the gatherings and stuff. Was there like any other special roles within your family? Like in my family, my grandma usually cooked and like my aunts usually cooked. Like, is there any like what's the normal for your family?
This is actually like one of the first like kind of traditions we get paid into is it's like a rotating thing. So for our like summer trip, it's always like one person will buy the sites, one person will like cook the food, do the food, other like and stuff like that. Someone will bring all the tents.
Yeah.
So it's pretty interesting. It's always the like the children of my great grandma. So my like grandparents, great uncles, great aunts. That's how the tradition is, because they like how it's structured. They say it's just they don't want like a grandkid of my great grandma.
Yeah.
They wouldn't feel that it's right, or it wouldn't hold the tradition.
Okay. What kind of foods do you guys have? Is there like normal foods that you have every day, or like?
It really does depend on who is getting the stuff, because some are a bit lazier than others. They'll just buy like Jimmy John's or something. But we'll always do s'mores. We'll always my dad's taken on this tradition, even though it's not his part of the family. He always every year he'll go around and he'll cook popcorn. Like there's like a little like metal thing on the fire. So that's I think is our biggest like food tradition. Usually it's just like basic meals. Depends on the day. Who wants to make stuff? Whatever. Burgers, brats. It's whatever someone brings. There's no real criteria to it besides you need popcorn, because my dad's gonna make that popcorn.
Is that like the same with most of your like holidays and celebrations, or does it like differentiate when it's like Christmas or like Thanksgiving or like some like the main
Thanksgiving
holidays?
Oh, I should have prefaced by saying that is just like the July celebration.
Oh, okay.
So mainly for like other things we'll go they're a big family. They live out kind of like out in like a country town west of Green Bay. So they're like one of like the big families in that town. So they'll always like rent out like the town hall, and it'll be like a potluck. People bring food, whoever wants to bring it, basically.
Yeah, that's cool. Do you have like any family games, or like do you have like traditions like specific to those holidays?
Yes. Two I can think of off the top of my head is Christmas. We always do bingo. So our great grandma, she always finds the deals and steals at all like the like stores around. So there's a big table with a bunch of prizes. Whoever wins bingo first gets to go grab whatever. And then every time, in July, or like Christmas in July, we do. Have you heard of a wet elephant?
Is that like where you switch like the present?
Yes. Everyone brings in a gift, and then you pick a card. Whoever someone gets to go grab something, and other people steal. It's fun, lighthearted fun, because they're most of the time things that people don't really want anymore, and that's maybe someone else might want. Yeah, 'cause one year I got like plastic gargoyle statues, and that was like 10, so I was not very happy with that. Just throwing a fit. So, but it's fun.
That's fun. Are there any like objects or like heirlooms that like are like special to your family, or is like there anything like that?
I think the biggest thing right now is, so since my great grandma is becoming aged, like the house that they've lived in for forever, all the items in there, that's what's the big like fracture point, I think, between like my family, and that's like one of the things that I think a lot of my other families didn't stay together, is because when these like ancestors passed, these, like started the family lines passed away, they kind of started to fight and bicker, and that is starting to happen a lot, which is really is unfortunate.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping that these traditions still stay alive.
Yeah. So, do you have like a certain place or like a recurring place that your family meets, or does it kind of like rotate, like you were saying?
Yes. Yeah. So, like I said, the town halls. I think the one town, it's Osborne Town Hall, is the one that we usually meet at. It's a small town, like kind of west of Green Bay, and then there's, I'd say it's about an hour north of Green Bay, kind of like Northwoods area. There's a lake called Shoe Pond, and so there's a national lake campground there, and we'll always rent that out like as a family. Go there, set up tents. It's fun, except for when it's raining and it's not. But
has like that ever changed over time, or is that something that you like just started doing?
It is something that's been happening long before I was alive.
Oh yeah.
So I was like, there's stories that go all the way back to like when my dad and my mom met, like which was, that's 21 years ago. So, and I'm sure it's been happening a lot longer than that.
Yeah, that's really cool. So, are there any like ways your family has shaped your behavior, or like your mannerism? Like, do you act a certain way in public, or like based on like the way you were raised?
I would say that. I think I would agree with that statement. It's very hard to like say. You know, it's very hard for me to think of right away what I do because of them.
Yeah, it's kind of like
I have to,
like normal to you.
Yeah,
like, you don't really
I
think
don't
about
realize.
what you're doing.
You mind if we just go back to that? I'll try to think about that.
Yeah, we can
I'll
definitely
see
go
if
back
I
to that
can.
question.
I would agree with that, but I couldn't come up with the top of my head what I did.
Yeah. So kind of like going back to like where your family meets and everything, do you think that where like your family gathers changes how the family interacts?
I would agree with that. I think because it's only a certain like people like can go up there, you know, not everyone's available to go, you know, drive an hour or so away. So it's not the like entire family that meets up. It's because that side of my family, there's like 20 or so like great uncles, great aunts, or whatever. So it's a very large group. So it's usually about like 6 of those like great aunts and uncles and their, you know, kids that will come. So I think that group of people, they're definitely a little bit closer than they are with their other siblings. So I think that affects how the meeting goes, is because they're talking the whole time. Like there's not even a second of silence ever. So
do you feel like you have like closer relationships with people like in your family, or it's like all kind of the same, like you're pretty close with everyone?
Yeah, I would say I'm definitely a lot closer with them. I mean, there's a lot like other sides of my family, like I couldn't name a lot of people. Like my mom's like, oh, that's so and so. I'm like, huh? Who is so and so? I don't think I've ever met them. They're like, oh no, they were at your 3rd birthday party. Like, what? So there's that. I think I'm definitely a lot closer to them than I am to any like other group.
Are there any like specific traditions that are like really important to you that like you would make sure to pass down in your family?
I think like the white elephant. That's the biggest one. That's always really fun. I think.
Yeah.
Like I've done it at school and stuff too. I've always loved doing it. So
yeah,
it's a good way to get rid of like random clutter and then at the same time have a little fun.
Yeah. For Christmas, do you celebrate on Christmas Day or like in the evening or Christmas Eve?
It's usually like 2 weeks earlier. It's just
really?
around the time. Yeah, I should have said that. But yes.
Oh, that's cool.
So, because again, there's a lot of people with more like immediate family that'll go out. They have to travel. So that's I think the main reason we usually meet.
So then do you celebrate Christmas like with your like immediate family on Christmas and then the extended family like other times? Okay. Yeah, that's cool. Why, this is kind of like a hard question, but why might someone feel like an insider or like an outsider in your family group? Like, would you feel like your family has certain like rituals or kind of like mannerisms that if you walked into another family, they would like, it would be different than how you act in a different family?
I would say there's a lot of like inside jokes that I would say I'm like in the know on. Like there's a couple I could name that go into like a whole story about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, even if like I go say it's like the same like kind of group of families, like that 20 like grandkids, whatever, like 20 great aunts and uncles, not all of them are gonna know, all those inside jokes and everything. Because those are only, I feel like we really only bring them up when we're going up. So I guess that is the main one, is all those like different little like jokes and stuff that we do. Because every family is gonna have that does some sort of thing. Because I know there's a bunch up there. We'll talk to them sometimes because they'll be right next to us.
Right.
But yeah, because they all have like the different like food traditions.
Because I know with my family or like some of my close friends, like we always pray before we eat, and then sometimes when we branch out to like other families, we'll notice like some people don't do that. So it's just like a matter of like what's normal, what's not normal. It's just different. Yeah.
I did grow up like Christian, but I never prayed before I ate. Like my faith had never like. That was not something I normally did. But I remember going to a different part of my family's, my mom's, like, grandma, and they were all praying. So, and I was like 8, so I'm like, what are we doing right now?
Right.
Because it wasn't something that I had normally done.
Yeah. So. Yeah, is your whole family Christian or?
Most, I would say, because my dad, when he was a kid, went to a Lutheran school. My dad is Lutheran, my mom is Catholic.
Oh, yeah.
So, my mom went to Catholic school when she was a kid. My dad went to Lutheran school when he was a kid, and I, for the first couple, until 3rd grade, I went to a Lutheran school as well.
That's cool. Have you ever seen, the cultural differences between, the Catholic and Lutheran, in your family together?
I think the only real difference I ever noticed is when I was in those congregations, not with my family, but when I would go to church at the Lutheran church, there's definitely a lot less. I think the biggest thing I noticed, because it's been a long time, I don't go to church or anything really anymore. So what I always noticed was how there's a lot less stuff in a Lutheran church.
Right.
So walls are pretty plain, just a podium, guy talks. But in a Catholic church, there's always paintings on the wall. At least the ones I've been to. Yeah. I'm sure not every single one is like this, but there's always the brass ornaments, the chandeliers, big walls and stuff. So it's very. That's the biggest thing I see that's different with those.
Yeah, that's really cool. Did you want to circle back to that question about how ways your family has shaped your behavior?
It's kind of hard, yeah. It's very hard to think, because it's because I can't really like pin, like say a trait. I think, I mean, there's things like I say that I would say are based on my family. So like little like inside jokes or like very like mannerisms. So my mom's pretty like, she's kind of like an animated person. She likes making faces and stuff, and it's pretty funny. So I've gotten, I mean, they don't come out often, but that's something I've noticed I'll do too, is stuff like that.
Yeah, I agree with that too. That's kind of how my family is. Like, we're very unfiltered, so I feel like they didn't like raise me to like be quiet or like kind of like keep my opinions to myself. Like, obviously, I feel like we all, like, all of our families are different in that way. Like, there's certain things, like, you have to keep to yourself. But I feel like it kind of differentiates within different people.
I guess that does make me think, my family, my mom they're definitely more, like, strict. Yeah. More, like, filtered. Like, my mom, like, likes to joke around. She's very animated face, but she is, like, I can't even say crap in my house. That's the type of, like, stuff. And I'll go to like my friend's house or like my girlfriend's house. They are like so much more unfiltered. Really? It's very different, and like I definitely can feel myself like change when I like walk into those different environments. I think that's because that's one of those things that was never really spoken to me, but over time, as I've gotten like, you know, like, hey, knock it off, you can't say that or whatever. And, you know, I never got like the typical soap in the mouth treatment, but you know, I got grounded if I said something, you know. Right. Yeah, that's really cool. What is one tradition that you hope to pass on someday? Like, it could be like more than celebration, or it could be just like a little, like even a meal. Oh yeah. I always have Sunday lunch or dinner with my grandparents. That's every single Sunday, unless you know, someone's sick or something is like really important that's going on. That is something I want to do. Like either keep going to my grandparents' house or my parents' house for lunch. And then when I am that age, hopefully to be to the house that people are going to. Would you ever consider like changing anything of it? Like, would you change it to a different day, or do you feel like changing it to a different day would like really impact like the tradition? Or like even like if it was a dinner instead of a brunch, like do you feel like that would change the whole tradition, or would it kind of still have the same meaning? I think I like the day. So the Sunday is really nice. Start of the week, you know, just to catch up. I mean, if it has to be changed, you know, someone's got something going on, I would. I think the main thing is just, you know, catching up, because it's that week, like, long interval, you know, catching up every time with that family, with those people around you. It's really important in my opinion. That's the biggest part of the tradition I want to keep alive, is just having those people come back, talk, you know, once a week, So when you have like family gatherings and stuff, I know you said that you have like extended family that comes in and then like your immediate family. Do you like, is your type of family like the one to like bring in friends or like even people like that you may not be close to? I think actually not super often. Usually, so since I was a kid, I've been dating my girlfriend for over a year now. So last year I brought her with, because we had been dating for a while then. And so that's, I think the only people that we really bring in is like significant others. Like, usually not too many like friends of people who come by. So that's really cool. I feel like that's also something that can like really differ between different people. Because I know a lot of people, like with my family, like everyone in our neighbors come. Or like it's always kind of like an open house type of situation, which is pretty different. How is being a part of your family
shaped who you are?
Um,
I know you said the jokes and being filters, but is there any other things that you would feel that shaped you to be who you are right now?
I think the biggest thing is just when I was young was getting raised Christian, even though I don't hold all of those beliefs now. Some the moral stuff, some of those teachings, you know, since I was a kid, then they stay with me still. So I would say that's probably the biggest thing for me is keeping those teachings, even though I might not necessarily believe every single thing, is keeping at least some of those with me.
Yeah. Do you feel you feel the Christian values kind of implemented your life right now, even though you may not agree with all the morals, but the overall values, you feel you carry with you?
Yes.
That's nice. Do you feel you're going to implement that on your future family as well?
It's hard to say. Mm-hmm. It depends. It's more of a thing if I have my future partner that I'm with, it's I would, in my mind, it's a 50 agreement. It's something you have to agree on with that person.
Right.
Currently my girlfriend she never practiced any religion or anything, so might not be
hers, right.
I wouldn't bring my kid to a Christian school, something like that. Just because I don't think, because she wouldn't agree with that, and based on some of my experiences, I would completely agree with that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Is there anything else you would like to share?
Any
last minute thoughts or anything?
Not currently. Thank you very much.
Yeah, of course.